Hi, I am Abhinav and I am going to talk about the green steel industry. So currently, India is world of the second largest steel producer and having the production capacity of 126 million ton per year. And this capacity is going to be 300 million ton by 2030 as per the national steel policy. And currently, the consumption per capita consumption of steel in India is only at 86 kg, whereas the global average is 233 kg. And as per the projection, the per capita consumption for steel for India by 2030 will be 160 kg. And if you look at the how the consumption happening in India, you will find that 70% of steel are consumed by the infrastructure and construction segment, and 10% by automobile segment, and around 9 to 10% by uh, 9 to 10% by consumer durable segment. And steel generally produced by the two route. The primary route is blast furnace route, which produces the higher carbon emission, and the second is a scrap route, which produces the lower emission. In India, currently we having the 50% of blast furnace production, and rest are electric arc furnace or electric induction furnace. When we analyze the value chain of steel industry, we find that the scope 1 emission are mainly due to the blast furnace, which are 95% of total emission, and the scope 3 emission are around 4%. That happen due to the mining and downstream and upstream logistic and transportation. Steel producer in India need to move to the green steel in a step-by-step manner, and this required because around 12% of CO2 emission happen in India is happen due to the steel industry. And you may have the query like why steel industry need to move to the green steel, and this is required because around 12% of greenhouse emission happen in India is happen due to the steel manufacturing, and India having the higher emission intensity in terms of CO2 per ton of crude steel. Global average whereas 1.8, whereas India having 2.6. And currently, steel industry producing 240 million ton of CO2 per year, which is going to double by 2030 because our production capacity also going to double by that time. So, what is the green steel? So, green steel is the production of steel by using the green source of energy. We should not use the fossil fuel because that cause the CO2 emissions. As of now, world don't have any commercially viable technology except hybrid that is implemented in the one of the Sweden plant. But that is a very small scale production. For large scale production, we don't have any technology as of now. It is ready. It will take around 20 to 30 years to a commercially viable technology be ready. As of now, companies are focusing on green hydrogen-based direct reduction of iron ore that will reduce the carbon emission by 90%. But it also increases the cost of production by 60 to 80%. So, what are the options available for steel industry to reduce their carbon emission? As per my analysis, I am going to list three, four points that can help the steel industry to reduce their CO2 emission. The first one is to use a scrap as much as possible in the blast furnace route because scrap reduce the amount of required oil and coke, due to which the CO2 emission reduced. Second is, and companies should try to move towards a step-by-step process to fulfill their energy requirement through the renewable source instead of coal mines. And next is companies should try to improve the quality of ore and coking coal because when you use the good quality of raw material, then energy requirement are very less and the CO2 emission will be less. Thank you.